Have you ever trusted someone so much that you didn't see the knife behind their smile? He didn't either. Detective Ray Carter was one of the best. 20 years on the force, dozens of solved cases, a man who knew every trick in the book. But he missed the one trick that mattered most, the one played on him. It didn't happen overnight. It started with a murder. A rich man found dead in his penthouse. No signs of a break-in, nothing stolen, just a single shot to the chest. And one woman, the victim's girlfriend, standing there, crying or pretending to. Ray was supposed to question her. Instead, he started falling for her. And that was his last crime. Stay with me until the end of this video, and I promise, you won't just hear what happened to the victim. You'll find out how a detective became the fool, how love became a weapon, and why the truth hurts more when it comes with a smile. Ray Carter was not the kind of man who made mistakes. He kept his desk clean, his shirt ironed, and his emotions locked away. He didn't drink. He didn't talk much. And he never got too close to anyone, especially not suspects. His record spoke for itself. Over 2 decades, Ray solved some of the toughest cases in the city. Cold cases, count heats, missing persons. People at the station called him the closer. If Ray picked up the file, someone was going to jail. But behind that sharp mind and calm face, Ray was tired. Not just the kind of tired that comes from long nights and bad coffee. He was tired of the lies, the blood, the evil things people do to each other. And more than anything, he was tired of being alone. He never married. No kids. No family nearby. Just crime scenes and reports. Day in, day out. So when a call came in, one more body, one more penthouse, one more woman crying in the corner. Ray had no reason to think this case would be any different. He had no idea this one would destroy him. The call came in just after midnight. A man had been shot in his luxury A. There was no sign of forced entry. No broken glass. No struggle. The front door was locked from the inside. A single bullet to the chest. The shot was clean. Professional. Almost too perfect. The living room was neat, like nothing had happened. But the body on the white carpet told another story. And then there was her. Lena. She sat on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, her eyes red but dry. She wasn't shaking. She wasn't screaming. Just quiet. Too quiet. I found him like this, she said softly. I was in the shower. I heard a loud noise. I ran out, and he was already gone. Her voice cracked at the right time. Her tears came on cue. Ray listened, nodding, taking notes. But even as she spoke, something about her didn't sit right. She looked sad, but not broken. Her gaze didn't flicker with fear. It lingered, calm, controlled. Still, Ray told himself not to jump to conclusions. He'd seen grief in many forms. The officers took her statement. Forensics began their sweep. Ray stared at the body and then back at Lena. No weapon found. No sign of a break-in. No witnesses except the girlfriend. The case was strange, but not impossible. At least, that's what he thought. Until she smiled. It wasn't a big smile. Just a flicker. Quick. Faint. But Ray saw it. And once he saw it, he couldn't unsee it. Lena was different. She wasn't like the other suspects he'd dealt with. She wasn't defensive. She didn't ask for a lawyer. She didn't cry too much or too little. Everything she did felt measured. Like each word, each breath was planned. She told him Thomas had been cruel, controlling, jealous. She said he had cameras in the house, checked her phone, followed her when she went out. He owned everything, she said, eyes wide. Even me. Ray took notes, but his mind was already slipping. She looked fragile, but strong. Broken, but somehow still standing. Her voice was soft, her eyes deep. And when she looked at him, really looked, it felt like she was seeing past the badge, past the questions, into him. He didn't like that feeling. Not at first. But when she touched his arm as he stood to leave, just lightly, just enough, something inside him shifted. She whispered, "Thank you for listening," like it meant something. And that's when it began. The case had rules, but his heart didn't. Ray knew he should keep his distance. He told himself it was just another case. A murder, a suspect, a file to close. He had done this 100 times, but this time felt different. He kept checking on Lena. First, it was a follow-up interview. Then, just a quick visit to see how she was holding up. She seemed grateful, quiet, gentle, always offering coffee, always looking him in the eyes like she had nothing to hide. The evidence, though, didn't make sense. There were no fingerprints on the gun because there was no gun. No security footage from the hallway. The system had gone offline 2 hours before the murder. The doorman said no one else had entered or left. Ray's partner, Jake, had doubts. "She's lying," Jake said. "She's too calm, too smooth." But Ray pushed back. Victims react in different ways. "We don't know what she's been through." Jake raised an eyebrow. "You sure this is about the case?" Ray didn't answer. He started ignoring small details. A missing phone record. A strange message on the victim's laptop. He told himself it was nothing. He wanted it to be nothing. Each time he saw Lena, she seemed more innocent, more hurt, more real. And slowly, line by line, the wall between his job and his feelings began to crack. He didn't notice it then, but she was leading him, and he was following blind. It didn't take long. Soon, Ray wasn't just visiting Lena, he was staying. An hour here, a late-night talk there. She opened up more each time. About her childhood. About the way Thomas controlled her. About how scared she was to be alone now. Ray listened. He wasn't supposed to care, but he did. She made him feel needed, trusted, seen. For the first time in years, he felt like more than just a detective, more than just a badge. One night, after a long visit, she said, "You're the only one who believes me." He didn't respond, but he stayed a little longer. After that, he stopped sharing case updates with his team. He told himself they didn't need every detail. He started hiding things, skipping reports, even removing small pieces of evidence that pointed her way. It was slow, quiet, like sinking into water without knowing you're drowning. His partner noticed the change. "You're too close to her, Ray." "I've got it under control," he lied. But he didn't. He stopped seeing Lena as a suspect. He saw her as someone to protect, to rescue. And the deeper he fell, the tighter her grip became. She wasn't holding his hand. She was pulling the strings. The truth came quietly. It was a simple email, a report from Tech Forensics. Ray almost didn't open it. He'd been putting off anything that might point to her. But this one had a subject line he couldn't ignore. Recovered files. Thomas Hale's cloud backup. Inside were messages. Dozens of them. Between Lena and a man named Mark. Someone Ray had never heard of. The tone was flirty. Then it turned darker. Plans. Dates. Mentions of Thomas. Of money. Of getting out. And then the line that stopped his heart. "Once he's gone, we're set. Just stay close to the cop. He's easy to handle." Ray's hands went cold. He read it again. And again. His chest tightened. He felt sick. He'd helped her. He'd erased evidence. Delayed reports. Defended her. All while she was laughing behind his back. He raced to her apartment. But it was empty. The door was unlocked. The drawers open. The closet bare. She was gone. She'd vanished. No note. No bouvier. Just silence. His phone rang. It was Internal Affairs. "We need to talk." The trap had closed, and he never saw it coming. They didn't need to ask much. The files spoke for themselves. The deleted reports. The missing camera footage. The visits he never logged. It was all there. Ray sat in the small, gray room across from two cold-faced investigators. He didn't fight. He didn't lie. He just sat there, staring at the table, hearing only one voice in his head. Hers. "She played you," Jake said later. Not with anger, just quiet disappointment. Ray was suspended, then charged. Obstruction, evidence tampering, misconduct. He lost his badge, his pension, his life. His name, once respected, now whispered in shame across the station halls. Reporters waited outside his apartment. Cameras followed him to court. Headlines called him the love-blind detective. A fool, a failure. And Lena? Gone. No trace, no sightings, no leads. Just a ghost with pretty eyes and a cruel plan. Months later, Ray sat in a prison cell. Alone again. Same clean desk. Same cold silence. But no badge. No job. No shield to hide behind. A younger inmate asked him once, "What did you do, man?" Ray didn't look up. He just smiled, the sad kind, and whispered, "I fell in love. That was my last crime."